So the year is 2008, and I'm in my late 20s, and I've just relocated to Texas from Colorado. And that's because I've been promoted to my fast people management role. And guys, I am thrilled, right, with this new opportunity. But there's a challenge. The team I'm inheriting has been delivering poor business results for years. But it's my job to change that, and candidly, I'm excited about it. You should have seen me. I mean, picture this 20-something-year-old charged with managing a team with a $30 million book of business in annual revenue. I had arrived. I mean, in Swahili we say, nani kama mimi, loosely translated into I am the shit, like untouchable with my greatness. Now, my company had also put me into a course for new managers, and I was brimming with confidence, possibility, and really a little bit of naive arrogance. So, of course, I jump all in with the eagerness and enthusiasm of a novice leader. And you can probably imagine what happened next. From the moment my feet touched the water, I sunk. I was living a manager's nightmare, and it was literally keeping me up at night. I mean, I had been a great individual contributor for years, but I was ill-prepared to be a manager of people, let alone a manager of a team that needed a turnaround. So try and visualize these four things that were happening at the same time, which really made up what I call the perfect storm, right? So first, I had this big vision. But I just couldn't get my team to buy into it, and I tried everything. I mean, they were largely disengaged, and they were giving me the bare minimum that they needed to give me to get by. And to make matters worse, which is two, I had some poor performers on my team, and I needed to let go of some of them. But I couldn't because we were understaffed, and our clients would have suffered the consequences of that kind of a decision. Thirdly, my peers and my manager were constantly giving me really well-meaning advice, right? But realistically, I just didn't seem to deliver the outcomes that I was expecting. And then finally, all these employee challenges were distracting me from focusing on what mattered most to me. What mattered to me was getting the results that my manager was measuring me on. So in reality, guys, I was in above my head, and I knew that if things didn't change quickly, I was at risk of losing my job because A, the economy sucked in 2008, and B, we wouldn't hit our goals. So things needed to turn around fast. Welcome to the pilot episode of How to Manage a Podcast. I'm Tabitha Ndeho, your guide. Thank you for being here. Now, before I continue with my story, let me tell you why I created this podcast and what it will do for you. Now, over my 18-year career in business leadership, human resources, talent development, and also having consulted with hundreds of clients, there are certain needs that I have come to understand that every manager wants. Now, these wants span across all levels of leadership, from new supervisors to the most experienced senior leaders. Guys, we have more in common than we think. Call it our common bond as managers. So here are the 5 things I've discovered make up the common bond as managers. 1, we all want to get the best out of our people, but sometimes we really struggle to do that. I mean, after all, we're just managing humans. Now, the second common bond is that when we're faced with these challenging employee situations, we wish we had the solutions to these challenges on our fingertips. I mean, call it just-in-time answers. I mean, you don't necessarily want to store all this information in your head, but you want to be able to call upon it in the moment that you need it. And then 3, if you're like me, and you probably are, you've read a lot of great books on leadership, and you've attended great trainings. So you're really not looking for theory. And candidly, if you were, you know exactly where to go and who to go to for the theory. What you're looking for are the exact practical steps to follow. And then 4, in terms of our common bond, is that, guys, you're busy. I know it, you're busy. And your time is limited. So you would rather eliminate anything that keeps you from focusing on your most important priorities. I mean, who wants to Google for answers when you have challenging employee situations? You just want to take quick, confident, and decisive action that will solve your employee challenge the right way, right away. And then the last common bond we all have is that you don't like drama. I mean, don't you want your team to run smoothly? You do, right? Now, you're smart and you know that challenges will arise, right? But you would be willing to invest some time in the front end to ensure a smoothly running team that is smashing goals. And those 5 reasons are the reason I created this How to Manager podcast. So that when you're faced with challenging employee situations, you know what to do and why, how to do it, and when to do it. No fluff, just steps. And we'll be tackling all kinds of questions and scenarios in each 15-minute episode. Ultimately, guys, you will be armed with the quick hit, actionable solutions that you need right now. And in every episode, I will meet you in the moments that matter. In the day-to-day moments when you need a companion to help you address your employee challenges. I will meet you to help you take the small actions, which when taken consistently, will drive long-term change and impact with your people. All right, so let's get back to the story. So the year is 2012, 4 years later. By this point, things are humming beautifully. Let me tell you about it. We're smashing goals. I mean, we've gone from being one of the worst performing teams in the country to the number 1 spot. And these results, they were driven by a highly engaged team. I'm actually looking at my associate engagement survey results from 2012. I mean, my team's engagement was not only above industry standard in every single measure, but it also ranked higher compared to other managers at my level. And you know what? I'll actually post this on LinkedIn so you see it. Now, 2 years earlier, in 2010, I had been promoted to a director, and my team had grown from 1 local market to a 3 multi-state market team. And let's talk about money. My bonus was huge, the largest it had been to date. My team was thriving, and then guess what? I was about to get promoted yet again to a bigger, more exciting role. So I continued my corporate career with multiple promotions, culminating in my role as Vice President of Client Services. I now work independently with small and mid-sized companies to help leaders leverage HR to drive business results. Leaders just like you. So let me close this out by telling you what I believe. I believe that you deserve to get the best out of your team. And I believe that you deserve to smash goals. I believe that you deserve the answers to your employee challenges right at your fingertips. And candidly, you also deserve the great career and financial rewards that come from your success. So join me in future episodes of How to Manager and follow me on LinkedIn for daily delicious tips. Reach out to me on LinkedIn if you have questions. I would love to hear from you. Again, thank you for spending this time with me. And see you on the first power-packed episode.